are now in the host room and can manage.
Backcountry, this is Max.
Hey, how waterproof is the cotton?
Trust in who we are, and nothing else matters. I never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. Hold these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. My mind for a different view, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what you do. Never cared for what they know. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trust in who we are, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what you do. Never cared for what they know.
You big dummy!
No, lady, how about you shut the up? I'm doing Lou too, bitch!
Never opened myself this way.
morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. Alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. Alright. Good morning.
I'm gonna snort some cayenne pepper up my nose.
I miss that guy. Don't y'all miss that guy? I miss that guy. I'm just kidding. I'm obviously just kidding. I don't even know what happened to that guy. Let me see if he's still around. Let's see if I can find that clown. I remember his YouTube name. Something like that. That maybe. Nope, looks like it's gone. Probably a good idea. Yeah, probably a good idea. It's for the best. Well, good morning, Annette. This is Uncle Lou here. Yep, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube this morning. Thanks for tuning in to the morning show with me and BVD. He'll be doing this any minute now. He sent me a text message this morning. Let me know he was going to come on. Of course, he was sick yesterday. Had Carter do his show last night, so I don't know how many of you checked that out, but I guess he's better today. We'll find out when we get him on. And coming up at 8:30, it's time for fake news today. That's right, everybody's favorite Monday tradition, fake news. Our good buddy Scott will be calling in to give us this week's rousing rendition of Uncle Lou's fake news. I can't wait. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what's gone on over the last week at Crazy Charlie's Hell's Angels, or whatever the name of the Hell's Angels bar is. Anyway, he'll be coming up at 8:30. Lots of news to talk about today, too. And we got to talk about Christmas shopping. Some of you people, I'm willing to bet some of you people have not bought the first Christmas present. What are you doing? What are you doing? You procrastinating, waiting to the last minute. Some of you are going to be that guy or girl running around Walmart on December 23rd or 24th at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, looking for what would you be looking for there? Well, it doesn't matter what you're looking for. They have it there. You need to get your Christmas shopping done, people. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till the last minute. Literally anything you want is on sale somewhere. If you can't find it on sale in a store, go online. You'll find it on sale. Order it. You'll have it in 2 or 3 days. Anyway, well, we'll talk about that. It's Christmas shopping coming up. Fake news at 8:30. Lots of football games over the weekend, of course, to talk about. And whatever else comes up on this Monday on the morning show. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget the Super Chats and the PayPal. Great way to support the show. If you guys enjoy this morning show, enjoy what me and BVD are trying to do here on the morning show. What are we trying to do here? I'll ask BVD. But whatever it is we're trying to do here, the Super Chats and the PayPal is a great way to support the show. There's the PayPal link. If a mod could copy that and then repost it once every 20 minutes or so, I would appreciate that. Get BVD on here. Oh, here again with the Dan Mullen, Florida Gators, BVD. Good morning, BVD.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be any better. Now, you, on the other hand...
well, I could definitely be better, but I could be worse.
Yeah.
So I'm...
what are you... Were you sick of the Vols, or what's the deal?
Oh, hell, I've been sick of them for years.
Okay.
But, no, joking aside, I got something going on with me, man. The doctors can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. So we'll just keep doing blood work until we figure it out, or it goes away, either one.
Well, what are the symptoms? We'll figure it out right now.
That's right. I forgot you're a doctor.
Well, no, but the comment section and Google can help us out. I mean,
that's true.
Unless you don't, it might be something you might not want to say, which is fine. That's your business.
No, it's.
I mean, it might be, I don't know if it's something, like your asshole's bleeding, or like it could be something like that you don't want to talk about.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you just said that, because I was just getting ready to say I don't have any bleeding orifices.
Okay, well, that's a good, I'm right. Okay, let me write that down, because we can cross that off the list.
That could be important.
Right. No bleeding orifice. Anyway, so it's not like a cold or something, though? Like, what's going on?
Runny nose, headache. I've even had earaches a couple of times. Extreme fatigue.
Ooh.
No temperature, though. No temperature. And food still tastes good.
Well, you have a temperature,
don't you? And I got a negative Rona test. So.
You do have a temperature.
I do have a temperature. Okay. That's right, I do.
That would be very alarming. If I would call 911 for you right now if you had no temperature.
You would have to.
Yeah, I would too.
I think even when we're dead, we have a temperature, don't we?
Yeah, I think it slowly drops to room temperature after you die. Whatever that happens to be,
Whatever room you happen to be in, right?
Yes. So
kind of like the Vols football program.
yeah. So you have a lot of Rona
Slowly
symptoms,
dropping.
but and that's the first thing they check for now, right? When you go in, if you have any type of runny nose, fatigue, fever, well, you don't have the fever, but anything like that, first thing they do is the Rona test, I guess. But
yeah, I'm good there.
not the flu.
Not the flu. I don't know, man.
Now, how
My
long
mom went through this shit
How long has this been
before
going
she
on?
died. It's like been going on for a while now, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. Well, what say the comment section?
I don't know.
What do y'all think?
What do they say? Let's see. DVD smokes too much. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think there's much of a diagnosis. Yeah, it's real cute, Chess. I don't think there's any diagnosis for smokes too much besides dumbassery. We've already got that down.
Yeah. Well, what does the doctor say other than it's not the Rona? What is he?
Nothing. That's just it.
Yeah. These damn doctors.
I don't know.
Ingrown hair? Someone says maybe an ingrown hair.
Oh, no, I've had those before, but I didn't have to go to the doctor for that.
You didn't?
Mm.
Did you make a video asking people to pray for you?
No, the doctor's actually treating it like it's a cold.
Well, what does that mean? He's
They-
giving you
they feel
Dimetapp.
that-
He's giving you Dimetapp and tomato soup.
Basically telling me, to take some over the counter cough and cold medicine, and Tylenol if I get a fever, and blah blah blah, and it doesn't get any better.
Yeah. Louis
bad.
McElroy says it sounds like you might have a case of confusion.
Had a lifelong state of confusion. I don't know that case.
Right. You know what else was confusing to me?
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Taking Harrison Bailey out of the game on 3rd and 4 for no reason in the second quarter and letting Maurer play one play.
Maurer, yeah, I heard you.
I don't understand.
To first little bit of the show last night, and you were talking about that with Carter, and when it happened, I was like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Yeah, that was weird.
You could see from the TV that Harrison had run out to the wide receiver, so I thought, okay, they're going to put a receiver in there and run the Wildcat. But then when it was Maurer, it's like, what the hell?
Now, I don't know. I don't
swing pass.
Is he what kind of quarterback is he?
He's widely considered a better runner.
Oh, okay. Well,
of all the backups. So.
Okay. I mean, because some teams do. Okay, well, I guess it makes a little more sense. I mean, there are. I don't want to say a lot of teams, but I mean, Florida will do that. And they've got one of the best quarterbacks in America. They'll take him out on a random play and run Emory Jones in there for that same reason. You're talking about a runner thing. But I didn't know that about Maurer.
It would have made more sense. It would have made more sense to me. You guys were talking about the fake punt, too. The kid that dropped the ball was Holiday. I can't remember his first name. Holiday, he's a former quarterback that they converted to a wide receiver. Looks like he would have been somebody maybe to put in.
Yeah.
In that, I don't know, man. They're just grasping for straws right now, I think.
Well,
I mean, Chaney's on his way out.
Maybe it was a week or two late, but at least he pulled the trigger on Harrison Bailey. Do you buy the thing about Garantano being? What was the deal with him? Was he hurt or he's got Rona?
What is it? The trace. What the hell is that called? Something tracing.
Oh, the contact tracing.
To do with the Rona. But,
so he couldn't play.
Contact tracing.
So he couldn't play.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, he was on the sidelines, dressed.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't understand what is the contact tracing. Somebody.
Well, if you're in contact with someone else that's positive, that's what contact tracing is. When you find somebody that's positive, you then backtrack and say, okay, who have they been around? And then you got to quarantine those people too. That's the idea behind contact tracing.
Hey, you would almost think, who have you been around? Okay, it's the whole damn team.
Yeah, well, well. And that was the big thing going into the season. We weren't real sure how some of this stuff was going to work when they came out with the Rona rules and the contact tracing. And we were like, well, damn, if one quarterback gets the Rona, does that mean every quarterback can't play next week? Because aren't they in meetings to get
in the quarterback room?
Right. Yeah. But I don't know exactly how the teams have been handling that. But, I mean, we've had a lot of cancellations and postponements, but seems to me like if they were really going by the letter of the law with this contact tracing thing, there would have been a lot more. Because like you said, if one player on the team has it and you're going to do contact tracing, you would assume just about everybody on the team has been within 6 feet of that guy.
They're in the locker rooms together.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so I don't get it.
I guess that's for somebody a lot smarter than you or I.
Yeah,
I understand.
Now I asked Carter, which of course is a smart individual. So I'll give you an opportunity too, because there's probably 1 or 2 people listening this morning that might not have been listening last night. I need those of you Vol fans who have sense. I need you to explain to these other ones that Jeremy
Pruitt's not getting fired.
He is going to be the coach in 2021. Yes, right?
Unless he decides he's not going to be coach anymore.
Yeah.
Pruitt's going to be back next year.
I can tell you though, he's not helping himself with these press conferences. Did you watch the post-game Florida press conference?
I didn't, but I've heard bits and pieces about it, and I meant to go back yesterday. I've still got the coach's show to watch, and I wanted to go. I'm going to get on YouTube probably maybe after we're done and try and look that up. It was bad, wasn't it?
There was a couple of times, like reporters would ask a question, and he would start off the answer with something like this. Well, I don't know how much you know about football.
Oh, okay.
Kind of just demeaning.
Now, I know one.
You can tell he's just the best thing that can happen for Pruitt and the rest of Tennessee, honestly, is for this season to just be over.
Yeah, I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah, because Pruitt right now is in an unwinnable position in terms of dealing with the media, because clearly everyone is fed up. And it's coming out in the press conferences.
Frustrated to hell and back.
Yeah, and as much as I get onto these coaches all the time. I'm like, answer these questions, blah blah blah. But put yourself. Pruitt doesn't want to lose. You know what I mean? He's more mad, more frustrated, more angry, more upset, whatever, than the most die-hard Tennessee fan on planet Earth. You know what I mean? And we forget that sometimes. It's got to be hard for the coaches in his situation. He has to know that, everybody wants him gone. He has to know all that. It's got to be hard to keep standing up in front of that microphone week after week.
Without getting frustrated.
Without getting,
smart ass.
Right. I'm thinking about putting myself in that situation. I wouldn't handle it very well. I wouldn't handle it very well at all,
Yeah, I think we all know that.
Yeah.
We all know that based on your, based on some of the examples you've given us with the cable company and.
Yes.
What was it last week that, the eye doctor.
Oh yeah, the eye doctor. Yeah.
A little scuffle with the eye doctor woman there.
But
to go along with what you're saying, the one thing that I did hear him say, Pruitt say, they played a little snippet, and he was talking about answering the question about the quarterback starting. And he kind of the same thing you said. He started out by saying, I'm going to answer this so you'll never have to ask me again, ever. And then he said, we're always going to put in the quarterback that we think gives us the best opportunity to win, unless we can't.
Right.
Now, that way you'll never have to ask me that question again.
Yeah, ever. That's right. That was the other one that
See, now, if you were, I would think if you were a interviewer, a press guy in there, and you were the next guy up, I think your question would be, so who's going to be the starting quarterback? You know, you'd be that type of guy, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. And I know this is his first year as a head coach, so you know, and he's been in the game a long time as a assistant and position coach and coordinator and blah blah blah. But you know, when your team goes out and craps to bed and you're the defensive coordinator, you're not the one standing in front of the media 5 minutes after the game ends. So he's new to all this, and he's going to learn that. Reporters are going to ask the same questions over and over every single. Kirby dealt with this too.
He's not new to this anymore.
Yeah, Kirby didn't deal with it great either. The quarterback thing, and you know, people say this all the time. The quarterback gets way too much credit when you win, way too much blame when you lose. The quarterback is just, the quarterback is going to be the focus of a team. It just is. And so when you have bad quarterback play, or you're rotating quarterbacks in and out, or it's not clear who the starter is, or whatever, reporters are going to continually ask about that, you know, and he'll figure that out. And I mean, Kirby's been a coach 4 or 5 years. He still gets frustrated with that thing too, where the reporters are just asking the same question over and over. But until there's an answer, and until there's an obvious answer, these reporters are going to ask the question. They have to. And so this is a situation where it's a combination of Pruitt's not used to losing. He obviously doesn't like losing. No coach likes losing. And he's never been in this position before in terms of having to answer these tough questions after games. So I think he's aggravated and frustrated with the media. And I get that, but that's something you just have to learn as a head coach. Unless you're somebody like Nick Saban, maybe Dabo Swinney, somebody like that, where you're winning 12, 13 games a season, in the playoffs almost every year, multiple national titles. You know, you get away with a lot when you're that. But if you're Kirby or even Pruitt or any of the other 128 coaches not named Saban, you don't get away with that kind of stuff. You know, you can't talk to people that way, and he'll learn, I'm sure. And maybe Kirby will too. I don't know.
This is interesting here. I had this Saturday night, couple hours after the game, and but I didn't mention it last night because I wasn't there, and I was going to mention it tonight on my show tonight, but I'll mention it to you. It's no secret that I know someone that plays on the football team, and although he's not a quarterback, you know, he's not somebody that's hugely impactful on the team right now. I talk to him usually after every game. And I asked him Saturday night, I said, what's the mood of the team? And is the team buying into the Bailey move? And his answer is interesting. So I think we're all aware that we're a good team, but execution is the key factor right now. Pass defense is well aware that we can't defend the middle of the field, and Pruitt has bitched at them. So I think they just have to execute better. Effort is not an issue. As far as the QB play, everyone wants the person who is going to give us the best chance to win. Harrison played good today and made a few smart plays, didn't do anything to turn the ball over, so I think the team will rally around it. So there you go.
To me, that was the biggest thing about Harrison Bailey, is that he didn't turn the ball over, because there's plenty of criticism to go around when it comes to Garantano and how he's played this year. But if you had to single out the one, if you could wave a magic wand and fix one issue with Garantano, it would clearly be the turnovers. Right? Don't you think? So that was definitely a huge benefit. And you sort of assume, okay, we'll play Harrison Bailey. Well, we're gonna get some turnovers probably. You almost go into that expecting a turnover or two from him, and he didn't give you that, which was great. Now, they protected him a lot. There was a lot of throws behind the line of scrimmage, swing passes, hitch routes, 2-yard routes, that kind of. They protected him a lot. And as far as the end of the game goes, when Shrout was in, I put no. That means nothing to me. Nothing. That was Florida's third and fourth string, and they were playing prevent defense. So I hope there's nobody sitting around right now blown away by
nobody
Shrout.
Nobody that knows anything about football.
Yeah.
Is. I also mentioned to him something about Pruitt. Didn't ask him a question. I just said, I guess as you can assume, our fan base is about to come unglued over Pruitt.
Yeah.
The answer, they can come unglued all they want, but he is our guy.
Yeah.
We just have to execute his plan better. The players just haven't reached a level of play that he's okay with. So until then, it's on us. And that's true. I mean,
yeah.
We can bitch at coaches all we want. They're not out there trying to put a game plan in place that doesn't, lean towards winning a game. They're not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
they game plan to hell for these games to win. And if the players don't execute their plan, it ain't never going to work.
Right.
Period. No matter how good you are. Hell, Alabama, as good as they are, if they don't go out and execute, they're not beating teams 70-0.
Yeah.
Which they very well probably could have scored 70 on LSU this weekend if they wanted to.
Right.
At least it looked like it. I'm ready for the season to be over, just like you mentioned.
Now, you had told me a couple of weeks ago, and I never mentioned this, but since you have said what you just said, I'm going to say it. But you told me a couple of weeks ago that, and I don't know if it was the same person you're talking about now or not that's on the team, had told you that Garantano is clearly the best quarterback on that team.
Yep.
As far as practice was going, that when
three of the players said that.
Yeah, and these are guys that, people always tell us, well, you're not at the practices, you don't see what's going on. These are three guys on the team who do see every practice, and they told BVD a few weeks ago that it is very obvious that Garantano is the best quarterback on the team.
And he may be.
Yeah.
In practice.
What helps him in practice, experience helps in practice too. He's been running those same plays this is his third year now. So, and there are some players who play better when the lights come on too. That has, we've all seen that happen. A guy,
I think that's what a lot of us
through
were
practice.
For with Bailey.
When I was in high school, this isn't an apples to apples comparison, but it's sort of makes the point. When I was in high school, we had a running back. This guy was, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds, tailback. And he
a monster in high school.
Especially around here. We don't have great high school. I mean, when our offensive linemen in high school were 180 pounds. Our starting guard was my height and size. He was a little bit thicker than me. So, he might have weighed 175 or something, whereas I weighed 145 or something. But we were basically the same size, height-wise and all. He was our starting guard. His running back was 6'2", about 230, 240, fast. And he was terrible in practice. He didn't try. He didn't have motive. He didn't have. That's yeah. But in the game,
that's the only way to put it.
I would watch him in the game, and it was not the same person. Now that's pitiful too, because however good he was on Friday night, and he was pretty good, he could have been a lot better if he would have given all that effort the other 5 days of the week in practice. But he had so much natural ability that he didn't have to, at least not at the high school level. Now he never did anything in college for that, and that's the reason why.
Booby Miles.
And I used to get so frustrated because I never had a chance to play college ball from the time I was born, basically. I mean, DNA and genes are what they are. I mean, I'm in high school, I was 5'10", 145 pounds. I was never going to play anywhere. But I loved football. I mean,
you were a kicker.
I practiced every single practice from the time I was 8 years old to the time I was 18. It was no different than a game for me. And I can probably get people on to confirm this and back this up. When I was in high school, they used to take me off the field, because they thought I was going to hurt somebody in practice.
No, you don't need anybody to confirm that. I remember your dad talking about it.
Yeah, and that's just the honest to God truth.
Dad on.
When I was a freshman, the first practice we ever had with pads on, I wasn't I didn't understand the idea of non-full speed practice with pads on. We didn't do that in middle school. You either wore shoulder pads and shorts and just ran around doing nothing basically, or if you were in full pads, you were out there to play football. And that wasn't the case at our practices in high school, but I had no idea. So our first practice in full pads, and we had a tight end, I can't remember his name, but he played basketball too. He was 6'6", 6'7", something like that. Wasn't very thick, but he was a big guy, tall guy. And he ran an out route on my side of the field. I was playing corner. He ran an out route on my side of the field. He caught the ball and turned around to run up field, and I was coming up from behind full speed, and I laid him out. This guy was huge. And I'm this little bitty thing out there. And the coaches came up and grabbed me by the face mask and dragged me off the field. And they were like, we don't do that here. This isn't what the point of this thing is. And I was like, well, hell, we're out here in full pads. What are we doing? Anyway, so
you had a lot of heart, Rudy.
Yeah. And I used to get so mad when I would watch people like this running back I was talking about earlier that, the sky was the limit for this guy. He had the size, he had the ability, he had the speed, he had the strength, he had everything except the will to make himself better. He was as good the day he left high school as he was the day he got there, which was pretty good. It was good enough to run over most high school players. And if he'd have had half the motivation that some of the other people had, there's no telling how far he could have gone. But and I used to get so mad at people like that because no matter how hard I tried, I was never going to have that opportunity ever.
Mm-hmm.
And
in 10 years of doing these Greenville games and practices and stuff, I've seen quite a few kids like that. And there's 2 kids on the team right now that'll be back next year. Like you're saying, if they would put the damn effort in practice like they do in the games, it'd be amazing what they could accomplish.
Yeah.
And you try and talk to those kids, and you try and tell them how they're screwing up, and try and tell them their potential, and you just don't get through to them. It's frustrating as shit.
Yeah.
To see them continuously doing the same things out there every day, or not doing the things,
Yeah.
Tough to watch.
So back to just to wrap up the Pruitt thing. Actually, it's 8:30. It's a little past. Let's get Scott on with the fake news.
Yes.
And then there's a couple more. I want to talk about Cheney. We're in agreement. Pruitt's coming back. I don't know about Cheney. We'll talk about that after the fake news. But let's bring Scott on. Here he is. Scott, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Uncle Lou. Good morning, BVD. How do you guys
doing good?
Have a good weekend?
Yeah, did you?
Hey, how about that Sarah Fuller this weekend, or Vanderbilt? Oh, that's right. They didn't play. I'm sorry.
She kicked just as many field goals this weekend as she did last weekend.
Yeah, right. I got a Vanderbilt. I think I got a Vanderbilt story you guys will enjoy in fake news. And without further ado, it's time for Lou 2 fake news. And here is the news that is fit to be only on the Uncle Lou channel. Tim Tebow announces he's given up Christianity and now vows to be a Satanist. When asked why he's given up his Christian values, he stated that I never knew it was so much fun while in a Las Vegas suite with mounds of cocaine on the table and a dozen or so hookers in the room. Satan said that he had never negotiated a contract for Tebow. Satan sent out a press conference that stated Tebow would have been a great candidate in his college years, but now he's just a hack sportscaster. Ooh. Right now, Tebow is on the satanic practice team, and an agreement for his soul is to be determined.
Damn.
We've heard the old saying, does a bear poop in the woods? But here's the fake news headline. Did Bear Bryant poop in the woods? According to a former football alum, Sparky McCarter, that played for Alabama in the mid-'60s, played with Forrest Gump, by the way, and now writing a memoir, witnessed Coach Bryant leave the practice field on numerous times with a roll of toilet paper in hand and head for the nearby woods. 30 minutes later, he had come out of the woods, and based on the bowel movement, Coach Bear Bryant would either have good practice or bad practice. If he had a bad movement, well, another hour of practice. The player blamed the bad bowel movements on the diet of Coach Bryant's consumption of Lay's potato chips and Coca-Colas. The University of Georgia's Technology Division built a machine that now can read the thoughts of humans. And the first to volunteer for this was Georgia head football coach Kirby Smart.
Oh, no.
After being set up on the machine, the thoughts from Smart were as follows. Run the ball in the middle. Run the ball in the middle. Run the ball in the middle. I'd like a cheeseburger and run the ball in the middle. Can I pick up my prescription of Xanax and run the ball in the middle? Pass me the mashed taters and run the ball in the middle. Can I get a couple of lotto tickets and run the ball in the middle? Coach Smart had no comment about the accuracy of his thoughts from the machine, but stated he felt a lot of physicality coming from the technology. With the firing of Vanderbilt coach Derek Mason, one of the main candidates for his position is Grand Ole Opry member Ronnie Milsap. Country music legend Milsap, who for the younger audience out there is blind, expects to start a spread offense and a stout defense for the Commodores. During his first meeting, Coach Milsap walked into the locker room, a table, the wall, and a chair. Accidentally, Milsap picked up a cheese grater instead of the playbook and said in a press conference the next day he expects to coach one of the most violent teams ever to hit the field of college football. And the Luke 2 fake news is being brought to you by Hell's Angels Bar in Goose Creek. Looking for a romantic dinner? Hell's Angels Bar delivers. Sitting out on their outdoor porch connected to their trailer, you'll get the slight whiff of magnolias and the cooking of crystal meth. Although there's a bit of chill in the air, the oil can will be on fire. And the view of old tires and 3 cars jacked up in the backyard is picturesque. As for their jalapeno pepper popper, straight from the slightly damaged freezer, goes right into the microwave. You'll both leave with motorcycle grease on your clothes and trauma that will give you nightmarish dreams for the rest of your life. Hell's Angels Bar for you and your old lady, just before Three Finger Freddy's firecracker stand on Highway 78 in Goose Creek. And that is the news available only on the YouTube channel. Your fingernail ink stain cub reporter, Scott Kerr, reporting.
Scott, thank you, buddy. We appreciate that, man. That was great.
Outstanding.
Man said he walked into the locker room, and what else did he walk into?
He walked into the table, the chair, and the wall.
Yeah.
That one was funny. That one was funny because I didn't see it coming. That one got me.
What's red, white, yellow, and blue?
I knew something was up.
You know it's red, white, yellow, and blue, and sits in the corner and says, "Is this it? Is this it? Is this it?" Ronnie Milsap playing with a Rubik's cube. That's I don't know. See, in this day and world, I don't know if you can blind shame or not. That is the reason I kind of contacted you to ask you my parameters here, Uncle Lou. But we'll talk it another day.
Yeah, well, the parameters are wide, extremely wide here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are right. Well within them so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good.
Lots of room for expanding.
Well, when Satan won't even take Tim Tebow and puts him on the practice team, that's just typical.
That is
of
pretty
Tebow
bad
to me. Yeah. And I thought Kirby Smart's run the ball up the middle was probably the thoughts of Kirby Smart. Yeah.
Imagine how much trouble. Imagine how much trouble college coaches would get in if if you really could read their mind, what they were thinking.
Oh man.
I like that too.
Well, what was that, Coach?
I would like to request that that machine that UGA invented be loaned out to other teams, and if you could let us know, it doesn't have to be every week, but if that could be a recurring thing, like maybe what's on Pruitt's mind one week or what's on Saban's mind one week or whatever their thoughts, that would be great.
I certainly will. I'll see if that can certainly fly and that can play.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. My dogs are barking in the background. What's that?
I asked you if you in your local pound.
No, I got 2 dogs, and the Stanley Steamer guy has finally arrived, so I got to go check on him.
All right. Well, thanks, Scott. We appreciate it, buddy. We'll see you. Talk to you next week.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Man, that was great.
Oh, yeah. He is yet to disappoint.
No. And, every time he calls in, it just makes me more and more mad about the Chess Hall thing, because that had potential too.
Well, it still does. We just got to find somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Oh, did you see Chess Hall's troll video?
No.
Okay. Chess Hall made an hour-long troll video. Hold on. Let me see what the name of this video. I got to make sure I get this right. TikTok.
Okay.
Chess Hall. Here we go.
I saw somebody talking about it in the comments.
It's called "What My Channel Is About and My Life Goals." Now, you can watch it if you want, but you don't have to, because I'm gonna summarize it for you. It's basically an hour-long video about how he is determined to turn things around. He has goals. He is going to do what he needs to do to reach those goals. He's going to start taking things seriously. He's no longer doing all the things that have led him to the point he's at now, like not showing up for places and all that stuff. It's an hour long of that. He's going to start being a more responsible individual. This was an hour-long live stream, BVD, done at 5 a.m.
So
that's what makes it. That's how I know it's a troll job, because nobody who has come to those conclusions that Chess Hall stated in that video would be up at 5 a.m. to do a live. Because it's not like he came to this conclusion about being responsible and all, and then went to bed at 10 o'clock the night before so that he could get up at 4:30 in the morning to do a 5 o'clock live stream. He was just still up at 5 o'clock, so he did a live. You know what I mean? So that's how I know it's a troll job.
It could have been that he was up all night thinking about all those things, and then once he got done thinking about it, said, "You know what? I've thought about it, and I've got this plan. I think I need to share it now." Could be.
It could be,
or
but the minute those thoughts started to cross his mind about being responsible, he should have laid down and went to sleep like responsible people. And it didn't. Why was it a live stream? Why was that video? See, this is the problem with live streaming in general. Why are you live streaming unless what you're doing can't be done any other way? That should have been a 10-minute video that he uploaded, not an hour-long live stream.
Our boy Camel Toes is notorious for doing that. I don't know if it's a video idea or what, but he'll turn his camera on and do a live stream for like 8 or 10 minutes and then stop it. And it uploads.
Part of it is laziness, because it's quicker. A live stream is quicker than recording a video and uploading it. But, and as far as Camel Toes goes, the whole purpose of his YouTube channel is just because he has no friends. So instead of like going over to his buddy's house, he hits go live on YouTube.
Right.
I mean, when was the last time Camel Toes uploaded a video? I bet it's been a year.
Lou, it has made him the legend that he is.
Right.
You know that, right?
Right.
Like, camel toes don't clout chase other people. People clout chase camel toes. I heard him say that last night.
Right. I mean, you need to think about what it is you're trying to do or accomplish, and then you need to think of the best way to do that or accomplish that. And an hour-long video at 4:45 in the morning about how you've suddenly come to the realization that you need to be a responsible member of society is silly. And I'll say it again for anybody that can't get it through their thick skull and lives in South Florida. I love Chess Hall to death. This is why I'm so upset. If I didn't like Chess Hall, I wouldn't give a shit.
Right.
You know? But he's had a lot of opportunities on this show, and he's squandered them. No, Chet, you don't need to now make a video about turning your life around. You've already, it's that, you know, the toothpaste is out of the tube. Because here's the thing, Chess. I'm just telling you, okay? I've been doing this a long time. Any hour-long live stream you do, any hour-long live stream I do, not very many people are watching it all. Okay? And I do my live streams when people are actually awake. Okay? I don't know how many views. Well, actually, I do. I can tell you. That video has 123 views. Not a single one of those people watched that entire live stream. If you would have done a 10-minute...
Saturday night?
Yeah, it was it was Friday or Saturday night. If you
Saturday,
would have done a 10-minute video and uploaded it, that video, and named it properly, and puts a description of any kind at all, there's no description in this video. None. If you would have just done a 10-minute video, titled it properly, put a description of what the video is about, took the time to put in the relevant tags, this video would have 1,000 views, and almost all of that 1,000 would have watched the entire 10-minute video. Instead, you did an hour-long live stream at 4:45 in the morning called What My Channel Is About and My Life Goals. If it takes you an hour to explain what your channel is about and your life goals, then you need to reevaluate. But the problem is, I could scrub through this video, and at least 35 of these 50 minutes are not about what your channel is about or your life goals. This should have been a 10-minute uploaded video. Instead of 123 people that probably watched 5 minutes of it, you'd probably have 1,000 people, and almost all of them would have watched all of it. Stop taking shortcuts. Just because hitting go live is quicker than recording a video and uploading it doesn't mean every video needs to be a live stream. If you're live streaming, it should be for a reason. And honestly, there is no reason to live stream at 4:30 in the morning. There's not. There's no reason. Look around at the people that are doing it, Chess. Look at the people. You say you want to get to a certain place. Look at the people who are already there. See what they're doing. Then look around at who's live streaming at 3 and 4 in the morning and see where they are. Not just on YouTube, but in life. Where is Camel Toes in life? Where is Mosh in life? Where are all those people that you love to talk about on the V-Bar? Where are they in life? If that's where you want to be, then do what they do. Stream at 4 in the morning.
This segment brought to you by Uncle Lou's
Market.
Lose.
Marcus says, Chess, grow some balls. Lou isn't always right. No, I'm not always right. I pick games wrong a lot of the times. But when it comes to YouTube, Marcus Cameron,
Chess,
Lou is usually right.
You didn't just now discover that you don't want to be like those guys. I mean, sometimes, hey, sometimes I'm a night owl. I've turned into a night owl, and sometimes it's fun, to hang out with people at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, see, I agree. I do it. If I'm up, I go. Yeah. I show up in the comment section of those videos if I happen to be up late one night. But I'm not doing it 7 nights a week because I wouldn't be able to get anything done during the day.
Well, you got a family too with kids, and that makes a big difference.
If I was 22 years old,
young single.
If I was 22 years old, or 32 years old, or 42 years old, and didn't have a family and kids, and I was on YouTube 7 nights a week at 3 in the morning, I would never have a family or kids, ever.
Yeah, that's probably in most cases true. Oh, is Boxers Boo in the comment section? What's up, Boo?
Gator Boo's here.
Congratulations on narrow.
Oh yeah,
I
he
guess
is.
So somebody's talking to him.
What's up, Gator Boo? I see him now.
I was hoping to see Boo in my stream.
For the longest time, I would see
probably Harrison Bailey, Boo.
For the longest time, I would see that Boxers R Us would leave a comment every once in a while. I had no idea who it was, and I forget who it was that told me that was Gator Boo. I think it was actually Lewis. Oh, what's his Augusta Gator?
Yeah, Augusta Gator. Yeah.
Yeah. Because a while ago, like right before the football season started, he was kind of starting to show back up a little bit. Remember, in a couple of people's streams, and I don't see him that often anymore. But
oh yeah.
He was starting to show back
still
up.
Around.
Oh, he is? Okay. And then, he was talking to this Boxers R Us, and that's when I figured out it was Gator Boo.
Gator Boo is what we like to call good people.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Like, I didn't even know all that had happened with, I'm not going to get into it. He might not want anybody to know, but you know what happened to his house and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he had to move and all that. That was, he kind of got screwed over in that deal by the county or the state or the government, whoever it was.
I haven't talked to him personally in a long time, but I'm just going to go ahead and guess that there's remnants of that are still affecting his life.
Yeah.
So we love you, Boo.
Yeah. I hope you're doing okay health-wise, too. He's up in age, isn't he?
He's 30 or 40 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boo's up there.
Is he in his 70s, you think?
Oh, shit. I don't know. I don't think so, man.
I wonder if he'll tell us. I don't know.
Boo's not 70. 68. 68.
That's your guess or you know? Oh, I see. He said, okay.
He's saying,
all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't too far off. Well, Gator Boo, you don't look a day over 67, sir.
That's true.
So you're doing something right. Boxers R Us, that must be, his dogs were boxers, weren't they? That must be what where that's from.
Yeah.
Vandy Dandy, thank you for the super chat this morning. He says, you're trying to make Sarah Fuller player of the week again. I am? I don't know what I've done or what you think I'm going to do to try to make Sarah Fuller player of the week again. No idea. Thank you for the super chat, though. Tiny Tanto, what percentage would you say Trask comes back? 0. None.
Yeah.
He's played 2 full years. He can't have a better year than he had this year. He can't. He can't have a better year. The only thing going against Trask this year is Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. This is a deep quarterback class, but he's a first rounder. He will go in the first round. He's not going to go 1 or 2.
Wait, who gave her Player of the Week?
The SEC named her Special Teams Player of the Week.
Really?
Yeah, for one squib kick on a kickoff.
Wow.
Co-special teams Player of the Week. The other guy that had to share it with her was our boy Kadarius Toney from Florida. They were co-special teams player, which is ridiculous. And I'm normally, people call me a socialist, liberal, whatever, whatever. I do lean more towards the liberal side. And I even thought that was ridiculous. You're taking this way too far. Way too far. It demeans the award. It belittles everyone else who has ever won that. And listen, it's not like Special Teams Player of the Week is something that we get worked up over all the time. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Kadarius Toney won Special Teams Player of the Week instead of such and such field goal kicker. But still, if you're someone in college that has won that award, it means something. Anything you win means something. And it belittles and it takes away and it demeans the meaning of the award and everyone else who has ever won it. If she would have come out and even went 1 for 1 on field goals or something and kicked a 30-yarder and, something. But literally nothing.
Then it would have made sense.
One squib kick. So it just made no sense. There was other ways to honor what she did. The first female Power 5 player, blah, okay. I can, well, first of all, it's a terrible idea. Okay? It is. I'm all for equality and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. I am. Okay? This is a terrible idea all the way around. I'm sorry, but it is an awful idea.
I mean, unless you've got a female out there that is legit, that is a legit kicker, someone that you can stick out there, and kick a 40-yarder, what's the point? Other than to say, well, she was the first female Power 5 football player. I personally don't understand it, and I'm not trying to piss off any of the ladies that frequent our shows, but I didn't get it either.
And extra points and field goals are probably the safest thing. But if you line her up on a kickoff, unless you're going to squib kick it every time, she's going to get hurt. It doesn't matter what you do with her.
People do.
Some teams leave their kicker back as like a last resort if the returner breaks a long one or whatever. What is she going to do? What is the player going to do? What is the return man? Is the return man going to run her over? It's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's just a bad idea.
There's way more things that can go wrong than can go right, I would think.
I mean, teams have had field goal issues before, and they hold an open tryout, and they invite the entire student body, male and female, whatever, I guess. I don't know. Some people don't know the SEC does not have male soccer. I don't know how many people know that or don't know that or even care. But the SEC, does not have male soccer.
You're right.
It's a.
Damn, I never thought about that,
yeah.
but that's right.
So it's not like, because I've seen the comment. Well, if this is what they were going to do, why didn't they go get somebody off the guys' team? There is no guys' team. But I guarantee you, somewhere on the Vanderbilt campus is a kid that's played soccer since he was 8 years old and can kick an extra point. And schools have done this before. Open tryouts. Show up at the practice field at 2 o'clock on Monday. It's happened. They could have done that, and they didn't. And I just think it's a bad idea. I have a daughter, and I do my best to, make sure that she believes she can do anything she wants to do. But I would not let her play football. I would not.
Yeah, there's zero chance I would have ever let Kayla.
Now, this girl's 20 years old or whatever. The parents can't stop her. But I'm just saying in general, I do everything I can to, as a dad to, and this, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with politics. But, like, I make sure she understands that we're going to have a woman vice president. Because that's a big deal. It's never happened before. We've been having elections every 4 years for 250 years. And this is the first time we've had a woman vice president. I make sure she understands that. Not because of Kamala Harris's political views or the fact that she's a Republican or a Democrat, but, it's like look, you can literally do anything you want, that kind of thing. And I truly believe that. But it just, I don't know. Like you said, it's way too many things that can go wrong. Right? It's way too many things that can go wrong.
Well, I doubt this would ever happen. But there is the chance that there's the one asshole on the other team that wants to take a shot at her. Even on a deal like last week. That would take a real shithead to do that. I mean, I've seen worse shit happen in college football.
Even if there's not somebody that's looking at it that way, if instinct takes over at a certain point, if she kicks the ball off and runs down the field, somebody's going to block her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's just a bad idea.
Hopefully we don't see it again. Hopefully that's, one and done.
Vandy Dandy, thank you again for the super chat. He says Pruitt was a bad hire from the word go. I'm going to have to disagree with that.
Yeah, I saw that.
You never know. There are no guarantees. I use this analogy all the time. If South Carolina somehow would have lured Nick Saban away from Alabama to take the head coaching job at South Carolina, there is no guarantee that in 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years at South Carolina, Saban's going to win one national title, much less 5. There is no guarantee. There are no guarantees. I think the only time you can look at something ahead of time and definitely say it's a bad hire is like South Carolina hiring Will Muschamp. I think that was a bad hire from the beginning.
I think it was too, but even part of me thought, this might be a good fit for him. And I'm not talking national title good fit, but I thought it might be a good fit for him to land somewhere where he could win, 8 games a year, maybe every now and then win 9 or 10, and once in a while have an amazing season for them, which would be, 11 wins and a New Year's Six bowl game.
I get what you're saying, but the thing is, he was only 1 year removed from a 4-win season at Florida. Look at some other coaches. Where's Jim McElwain right now?
Couldn't tell you.
You know what he's not doing? He's not the head coach of a Power 5 team. Look at did Lane Kiffin fall on his face at Southern Cal and immediately land as head coach at another Power 5 team?
Nope.
Not even Lane Kiffin. He had to step down to the group of 5 and prove himself. The Muschamp hire was a bad hire from the beginning. But with Pruitt, you don't know what you're going to get. Now, it's easy to say it was a bad hire now because it hasn't worked out so far. But it was pretty much the same type of situation as Georgia hiring Kirby or Mark Richt. Neither one of those two guys had ever been a head coach anywhere.
Yeah, and when you're in that interview room, you know, these guys looking for that first head coaching gig, they're in that interview room with Fulmer. I mean, you know, he obviously said all the right things.
Yeah.
To convince Fulmer, you know, that this is the guy, you know.
I mean, he's got the pedigree. He's been around winning programs, you know, not just Alabama, you know. He was at Florida State back when they were still good. He was at Georgia when they were winning 10, 11 games, you know.
Yeah, he's been a winner.
Everywhere he went.
He's been,
yeah.
I mean.
And I think that's another thing that makes it so hard for Pruitt now to handle to handle what's going on right now, because he's never really been in, you know, forget being a head coach. He's never even been a defensive coordinator of a bad team. He's just not used to it. But thank you for the super chat, Dandy. Bluegrass Sports Media, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, I'm fishing for Notre Dame fans to bet the ACC title game. Anyone interested? I'm interested, but I'm on your side.
Bluegrass Sports Media guy. This guy, I like this guy. He's been on my show once.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And he likes to gamble. He likes to bet on these football games.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Nothing wrong with that. Thank you for the super chat,
sir.
You
know, unless you're.
Slim Shady says, I think Clemson and Notre Dame should be made to play this week, not preserve who the ACC wants in the championship game. So, I need this explained. How many games have Clemson and Notre Dame played? Which games were canceled? And why can't those games be played this week? It's a fair question. So let me look this up. Okay, so they've each played 9 games.
Right. 8-1, 9-0, correct?
Yes. Miami has played 8 games. So Miami's actually played less games. So by Miami playing this week, they will have played as many games as Notre Dame and Clemson.
Let's see. So the SEC championship game is not this weekend, but the next weekend, correct?
Right. All the championship games are not this weekend, but next weekend.
Right. Yeah. So I agree with something you said last night. There's probably 0 chance the Tennessee Vandy game gets played.
So for Clemson, they had 1 game postponed, and it was the Florida State game. Florida State has had multiple games postponed. And they're playing Duke this weekend. Florida State is. For Notre Dame, they had 1 game postponed. It was the Wake Forest game. So, I mean, if I was a Miami fan, I would be upset too. I would be upset too. But who Miami? You never should have let Notre Dame in, I guess. And Notre Dame, Miami, and Clemson will all end up having played the same number of regular season games prior to the ACC title game. Now, Miami's going to end up playing one additional game because they're also going to play. They're also going to play on the 19th when the ACC championship game is being played, but it's a makeup game.
But up until that, they're a game short, right?
Right. As of right now, they're one game short. After this weekend, they will have played the same number of games.
Oh, okay. So Notre Dame and Clemson are off this weekend?
Yes.
Okay. And Miami plays who? Florida State?
North Carolina. North Carolina.
Yeah. So they win this game. They're 8-1. I've missed something somewhere. How is it determined who is playing in the ACC championship game? Obviously,
there are no divisions. There's no divisions in the ACC this year, so it's the two teams with the two best records. Now, so Notre Dame is undefeated. They're automatically in because no one else is undefeated. Clemson and Miami each have one loss, but Clemson beat Miami. So that's the tiebreaker.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
But if Clemson, in theory, so let's go back to the Florida State game. If Clemson had lost that game, Miami would be in because that would be Clemson's second loss. And so you'd have an undefeated Notre Dame and a one-loss Miami. And that's the beef that Miami fans have is that, yeah, we lost to Clemson, so they have the tiebreaker, but they had a game canceled that they're not making up, and they could potentially lose that game. I don't know that anybody thinks Clemson would lose to Florida State.
Nobody in their right mind.
Vandy Dandy, thank you again for the super chat. He says, every self-respecting Vanderbilt fan knows it was a ploy to save Mason's job. The woman athletic director, basketball player, saw through it. Was weird that he got fired right after that. Makes you wonder what was going on. Then you have the whole thing where I guess at halftime she yelled at everybody. That was probably not a good idea either.
At everybody?
The team. In the locker room. She yelled at everybody about not playing good and all this kind of stuff. And you have to keep in mind that at that point in time, she hadn't even stepped foot on the field because Vandy didn't score. So Vandy received the kickoff to start the game. So she didn't kick off to start the game. And then Vandy, no field goals, no touchdowns, nothing. So she never stepped foot on the field in the first half, and then at halftime she's yelling at the team that they need to play better and try harder and all this kind of stuff.
The best player on the team to fire the team up at halftime is a freaking female field goal kicker.
I mean, let's even forget for a second that it's a female. Let's pretend it's any guy. Let's pretend it's any guy that just joined the team 4 days ago. And you go out and you play your first half and it's bad and you don't score at all. But this guy that just joined the team 3-4 days ago hasn't even stepped foot on the field, only been with the team 3 or 4 days, and at halftime he's yelling at everybody. That would be bad enough, right? It almost doesn't even matter with that part of it that it was a girl. Like, who are you? Who do you think you are? You know? And that's where the rumors come from that's why Vandy didn't play against Georgia, not necessarily because of the Rona, but they had players that just said, we're not playing. This is ridiculous. We're done. We're not playing. And I don't know whether that's true or not, but that rumor is out there. Matt Judy, thank you for the super chat. He says, Clemson has played 10 games total. Thought. I think it is. I thought. Clemson is 9-1. Let me pull the standings back up. Did I get it wrong earlier? I was looking at the standings when I said it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. When I look at the standings, I don't know what's going on here. When I look at the standings, it says Clemson is 8-1. Is that not right? Is that incorrect?
That's what it says. You look up the top 25. Alabama 8-0, Notre Dame 9-0, Clemson 8-1, Ohio State 4-0. I thought Ohio State had played 5 games.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Something's not updated here on ESPN. Maybe. How many games has Clemson actually played? Let's go to their schedule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They played 10. So they're 9-1. I don't know why this isn't updated here when I look at the standings. Okay, so Clemson is 9-1. Does that mean Notre Dame 10-0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, Notre Dame 10-0. Clemson 9-1. So they've both played 10 games. Miami.
Well, Alabama must be 9-0.
Where's Miami? Miami has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. So they've played one less game. So when they play this weekend, okay, so the numbers were wrong, but the end result is the same. Right. Miami has played one less game than Clemson and Notre Dame as of right now. Right? Isn't that what this looks like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And they play at home against North Carolina. That'll be a good game. That'll be a good game.
Should be.
How many losses North Carolina have? Is it just the 2? 3 losses. Okay.
Depends on which North Carolina team shows up.
Yeah.
That Florida State loss team shows up.
I don't think there's anything North Carolina can do to play themselves into a New Year's Six bowl. Like, even if they win this game with 3 losses, so really all this could do is keep Miami out of a New Year's Six bowl. This game, I don't think North Carolina could get into one by winning, but Miami could definitely find themselves not in one if they lose. If they play like they did this past weekend against Duke, they won't lose. That's the best I've seen Miami play in a long time. And people keep saying it was Duke. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand.
Duke is not the Duke of old.
And Duke is bad this year. I agree, but it doesn't matter who you're playing. It matters how you play.
45-0's a beatdown. Period.
Right.
It's a beatdown.
Georgia barely beat Kentucky. They beat the absolute bejesus out of South Carolina. Yes, South Carolina is bad. So is Kentucky. We played bad against Kentucky. We played great against South Carolina. It doesn't matter that it was South Carolina. You know? We played great against Alabama in the first half. Great. We were winning. We played terrible in the second half. It doesn't matter that it was Alabama. We played good in the first half. We played bad in the second half. Now, because Alabama's a great team, that cost us the game. Go back and watch the Auburn game. Go back and watch the Arkansas game. Go back and watch the Tennessee game. We played good in one half, bad in the other. Now, those are 3 bad teams, so we beat all 3 of them. That doesn't mean we played good for the entire game. It doesn't matter if you watch the game, Miami played great. That's the best I've seen Miami play. I mean, I guess was it 2017 when they went to the Orange Bowl and they were whatever they were, 11-1. They had some good games that year. But Miami played really good. De'Aaron King looked amazing. You know what I'm wondering? If I'm a Miami fan, do I want De'Aaron King to crap the bed the rest of this year? Because he could come back. Somebody was talking about Kyle Trask earlier, and should he come back because the quarterback class is so deep and maybe he can get drafted higher if he comes back another year. I don't think that makes sense for Kyle Trask. It could make sense for De'Aaron King, though, because De'Aaron King is not going to get drafted in the first round. He's dollar store Kyler Murray. He's a mid-round pick, I bet, if he comes out right now. And it could be that there's nothing he can do about that. Could be he comes back next year and he's still a mid-round pick. I don't know. Third, fourth round, something like that. I don't know. But it's not like he's a guy who's a guaranteed first rounder. So maybe he comes back. I don't know. That's Miami needs that, in my opinion, because I think the rest of their quarterbacks are hot doo-doo. That's why they sucked the last couple of years. That's the main reason they sucked the last couple of years. Terrible quarterback play. You know what? Miami last year was Tennessee this year. You never knew who they were going to trot out there at quarterback. And it didn't seem to matter who they trotted out there. But they got a quarterback, and now look, instead of winning 6 games, they're going to win 10.
Makes a difference.
It does, big difference. I say you need a great team to win a national title. That's true. But if there's any one position that can, Auburn 2010 is there ain't a better example. Not very many people right now can tell me what Auburn did in 2009, and not very many people can tell me what they did in 2011 because it was pretty irrelevant both years. But you can tell me what they did in 2010 or 14-0 and national champions. And the biggest difference between 9, 10, and 11 was Cam Newton in 10. No Cam Newton in 9, no Cam Newton in 11.
How about 2000? How about your 2019 champ?
LSU. Yeah. Now, they were a way more talented team all the way around than that 2010 Auburn team. I don't remember that 2010 Auburn team having 14 players drafted.
Has there been...
I know it was a long time ago, but just start naming players off the 2010 Auburn team.
Oh, shit.
Cam Newton and,
Yeah.
Not that they didn't have any good players, they did, but I don't think it was on the level of a 2019 LSU.
Has there been a worse follow-up to a national championship than what LSU's doing?
I honestly don't think so. No. I honestly don't think so. Auburn got pretty bad. What year was it Auburn went 3-9? Was it 11 or 12? They won the title in 10. Let me look it up, because that's one that always gets brought up. So let me see. Somebody probably will type it in the comment section before I can look it up. But just to make sure, I'll look it up. 2010, 14-0. 2011, 8-5. 2012, 3-9. So not even close to as bad as LSU. They went 8-5.
Yeah.
7-5 in the regular season, and then won a bowl game. What is that? Is LSU? What are they sitting on? 3 wins? Are they 3-5?
3-5, or yeah, I think so. I think they were 3-4 going into the Bama game.
Yeah, 3-5. What a shame. Yeah, I don't remember. There was a Michigan. They won the title in 97. Didn't they, the year before Tennessee won it? Is that right?
Almighty.
Let me look this up, too. Yeah, 12-0.
Yeah, you can't call on my memory for anything that far back.
But No, they were 10-3 the next year, and then 10-2, and then 9-3. So no, not Michigan.
Well, Tennessee followed theirs up with 10-1, 10-2, 11-1, something like that.
Yeah, you'd have to go back a ways. Trying to think what happened to, I know Florida had a couple of bad years after Urban Meyer, but I don't think it was like the next year.
Yeah.
I think, at least in modern memory, LSU is definitely the worst defending national champion we've seen. Matt Judy, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been waiting for you to see that.
He says, this is for that awesome bashing of BYU yesterday and the Your Season is Over video, and I really want to see the South Carolina video. I am going to do a South Carolina video today and a top 10 video. Doing 2 videos today. I'm going to do the top 10.
The Shane Beamer?
First. Yeah.
Their season's been over for a few days.
BBD, tell me, give me Shane Beamer's qualifications. In other words, tell me what he's done.
He's a Beamer.
All right, his last name, and that's probably the best thing on his resume, is his last name.
That's all I can think of.
Where has he been? Where's he been a head coach at?
Couldn't tell you. Nowhere, I'm going to guess.
Okay, where's he been a coordinator at?
Virginia Tech, maybe?
No.
No? Wasn't a coordinator under Dad?
Nope. Nowhere.
South Carolina could be in trouble.
He's currently a tight ends coach at Oklahoma. He was a special teams and tight ends at Georgia for Kirby's first 2 years. Then he went to Oklahoma. He's tight ends coach out there.
So, I guess South Carolina knows something we don't.
Yeah.
That's a fairly good point, CB.
I saw a meme or whatever something you call it, that somebody posted on Facebook yesterday that kind of perfectly sums up the hire. It was a picture of South Carolina's athletic director. Ray Tanner, is that his name? And it had the little word bubble coming out of his mouth, and it said, we've decided to hire Shane, and then that was it. And then on the bottom, it was a picture of The Rock standing in the ring, and the word bubble said, it doesn't matter who you hire. And I said, you know what? That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. It doesn't matter who you hire.
If there's I don't know how to put this. If there's a fan base out there that has endured more suck with the support they give their team than South Carolina, I don't know who it is. In other words,
their fans are great.
Before they were, yeah, they are.
And and Tennessee fans too. But the difference is Tennessee fans, at least those that are 30 years or older, they remember Tennessee being a dominant team and winning a national title and a bunch of SEC titles and all that. There ain't a person alive that's ever seen any of that with South Carolina because it's never happened. How long ago was 1969? I mean, you'd have to be 60 years old just to.
What year did they win the division?
2010, wasn't it? No, 2013. It was either 10 or 13 because they lost to Auburn in the title game.
They only won it once, right?
Yeah, they only won the East once. So you got to be 60 years old to even remember South Carolina winning any type of conference championship. So, and like you said, their fans are, you go there, every game is sold out. Now, there was a period of time in the early 2000s. Well, there was a period of time in the early 2000s where it wasn't that way. They went winless a couple of years. You think 4-8 is bad, or like this year, 2-7, whatever you're going to end up. Carolina went winless multiple times in the 90s and 2000s. 0-11,
Didn't they
whatever
go
it was.
winless the first year was Lou Holtz?
I think so. Because when they finally won a game after going winless the year before, they tore the goalpost down for beating New Mexico State. I mean, imagine that level of suck that you're tearing the goalpost down after beating New Mexico State. You know what I mean? That's alarming, is it not?
Fortunately. Probably the saddest thing, or, well, I don't know, I've seen a lot of sad shit here recently, but one of the most pitiful things I've seen at Tennessee was, and I can't remember the year, I think it was 2009 or 10. We beat UAB in overtime and carried, I think it was Gerald Jones off the field like we had just won a natty.
Gerald Jones.
And
where do I know that name?
I may be wrong about that. I may be wrong about that name.
There's a Gerald. Oh, there's a car dealership here in Augusta forever. Gerald Jones Honda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the same guy.
Okay.
Like I said, I may be. There's Tennessee fans in here. You might correct me on that name, but I just remember the crowd was going nuts. My wife was going nuts. My cousin was going nuts. All the people around me were going nuts, and I was sitting there with my arms folded, madder than hell.
Huh.
What are you mad about? It's fucking BYU. You know, we should be beating these guys by 40.
Yeah.
And we're carrying a guy off the field because we beat BYU or UAB. I said BYU, didn't I? UAB in overtime.
Richard D., thank you for hitting the PayPal link this morning, sir. And he has a great question, BVD.
Okay.
Will Kellen Mond come back for his 8th year?
That's a fair question.
I don't know that he will. It does, because it does seem like he's been there forever, and this is, in my opinion, the best year he's had, at least from a consistency standpoint. I don't know if he would come back. It's gonna be so strange when the season ends. Like, I obviously I know more about Georgia than I do any other teams in terms of like depth and draft potential. I'm not talking about obvious first round guys. Everybody knows about Devontae Smith and Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. But just whatever fan you're a team of, just think about how many juniors or seniors that's who would be draft eligible or on your team that are borderline NFL players or may not or honestly have no chance, but play a lot. You could have the offseason, when the season ends, it's going to be very interesting to see what a lot of these players do.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just thinking about Georgia. There's defensive linemen that have never really done anything of note at UGA. They're good defensive linemen. They're not great. They're not household names. They're not getting drafted in the first 3, 4, maybe 5 rounds. Will they come back? And then you got people like Nolan Smith, a junior, who I think is amazing and will be a star in the NFL. But he doesn't have the numbers at UGA that pop out to where everybody is talking about him or going, that's a first-round guy. But you show up at the combine and you're an underwear Olympics freak. Maybe you get drafted in the first round. So I don't know how this is going to go with some of these guys. It's going to be very interesting. You're going to have teams next year with 100 scholarship players.
That's crazy.
And depending on the amount of seniors on some of these teams that decide to come back, if you look at Georgia in 2017, one of the big reasons we were able to make that run is we had some players that came back, some juniors that we all thought were going pro, and they came back. You know, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, there's others on the defense even. And that was juniors coming back for their true senior year. You're going to have 5th-year seniors, guys that redshirted their freshman year and then have been on the team 4 more years. So they've been around 5 years. So in the case of Georgia, You're going to have players who have been with Kirby Smart for a full 5 years. 4 years, 17, 18. No, 5 years. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Who can come back for a 6th year with Kirby Smart. You know, all 6 years, same head coach. Things like that could make a difference next year. You know? It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out with players who aren't, who typically wouldn't be eligible anymore. Out of eligibility. How many of those guys come back? Think about something that
out there.
Something you don't even think about. Field goal kickers. What if, man? What I would not. We could have had Hot Rod another year if things were pushed up a year. You know, like what a team with a field goal kicker who's been there forever and is money, but he's out of eligibility. How many field goal kickers even get drafted? Not very many. So even things like that, punters. I mean, these things could make a big difference next year, not just for the national title, but for who wins divisions, who wins 8 games instead of 5. You know, I mean, it's going to be a big deal. I think who comes back and who doesn't. It's always a big deal, but there's way more players that have the potential to come back this year because this year doesn't count against anybody.
I wonder if there's anybody out there that's had, that was a 5th-year senior and then had some kind of medical issue and got another year, and this is their 6th year.
Yeah, you could have a 7th-year guy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you could have a 7th-year guy. If they redshirted a year and then got a medical thing, yeah. Mm-hmm. You could have a 7th-year guy. Unbelievable. Matt Judy, thank you for the super chat. He says Dabo was considered a bad hire too, wide receiver coach only. Yeah, the problem with pointing out the exception to the norm is that there's a reason that's considered such an exception. You know, that's like saying I don't understand why NBA teams aren't drafting 5'9" point guards. Spud Webb was amazing. Well,
yes, he was. Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah, same thing. You know, but there's a reason we know who Spud Webb and Muggsy Bogues are, and it's because they were so rare.
Yeah.
Tiny Tonto, thank you for the super chat. He says, Mullen finally got his division title. Yeah, that's right, Dan Mullen. 12 years as a head coach in the SEC. 0 conference titles. What a shame.
An hour and 45 minutes it took us to mention that.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, I wonder how long this morning before that gets brought up.
Thank you, Tiny Tonto, for teeing me up there. Appreciate that.
Because Augusta Gator brought it up to me in a text this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, if I could, I could, I guess. If I were to read off some of his texts to me after these Tennessee-Florida games, you'd love them.
Yeah, I bet. Volusia Orange, thank you for hitting the super chat this morning. He says, Gamecocks promised they wouldn't hire a defensive coach this time. So they did the obvious thing and hired a special teams coach. Well done.
Damn it, there was something.
I mean, Shane Beamer may show up and we find out he's the, greatest coach they've ever had. That's possible. There's no guarantees, good or bad. There are no guarantees. Everything's a risk. It just it makes you wonder because I guess the head scratching thing for me is, and this is where the fake news from earlier, where you can read people's thoughts. I would like to not necessarily read the thoughts, but I would like to know the behind the scenes. This was a quick hire. So yeah, I would like to know there's, I don't know, 5 obvious names that just get mentioned constantly, right? Urban Meyer, Hugh Freeze,
Fickle.
Luke Fickle, whatever, however many you want to name. If I would have asked anybody a week ago, no matter what team they were a fan of, your coach is getting fired tomorrow, who do you want? Give me your 10 choices. Not a soul would have named Shane Beamer. So I'm not saying that means this is a bad hire. I'm curious, did they contact any of these other people? And it got turned down.
Was this brewing before he even got fired?
Yeah, because this is very quick. And you know, this is the benefit of getting out in front, firing your coach early when everyone is still available to that you might want or whatever.
And then Shane freaking Beamer.
Yeah.
They got the jump on everybody else.
Now,
there might be
a lot of these other
that
coaches
gets fired that they would have wanted.
A lot of these other coaches that we name are still coaching, and there are rules about what you can do, but there's back channels. South Carolina's got a friend of a friend of a friend who could easily say, hey, let me know if Hugh Freeze is interested, without doing anything official, like interviewing him or whatever. And it could be that they did that, and Hugh Freeze just said, no, don't waste your time. Or whatever coach, I don't know. I have no idea. Urban Meyer is really the only one that's on everyone's list that you could even interview now. Everyone else on any list you would think of is currently coaching a team, and there's rules about.
Is he coming back?
Oh, I think he's definitely coming back. Definitely coming back.
Is this his last go around? Or are we going to see the 3 or 4 years, quit again, then come back again? Is this it?
Well, let's see. Group of 5, then Florida. So that's SEC. Then Ohio State. That's Big Ten. So he's burned bridges in 2 of his 5. So he's down to the ACC, to Pac-12, or the Big 12. The 2 most likely destinations, in my opinion, are Texas or Southern Cal.
Texas.
Whoever makes a move first.
And both teams have head coaches currently.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Texas fans are done with Tom Herman. They feel about Tom Herman about like Tennessee fans are feeling like Pruitt right now. There's a lot of Texas fans that are just done with him.
Well, there was a radio show host this weekend that was talking about, firing Pruitt, and they were bringing up names of coaches that they would be happy with if they fired Pruitt, and one of them was Tom Herman. One guy said, I'd be happy with Tom Herman in here.
Yeah.
Man. Quick subject change, something I wanted to recommend to you.
Yeah.
We talk about TV shows on here a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Shameless started its final season last night. I don't know if you watched Shameless or not.
So you have Showtime?
William H. Macy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the
New
final
show.
season, huh?
Final season, yep.
Okay. Yeah, I love Shameless.
Last night, and a new show started last night after it with Bryan Cranston. It's called Your Honor. It's going to be fucking awesome. I highly recommend you get on that one.
What's it called?
Your Honor.
Your Honor. Is that on, what's that
He's
on?
A judge.
What's it on again? Netflix?
Same thing.
Oh, it's on Showtime?
Same channel.
I don't have Showtime.
He's a judge. He's a judge in New Orleans. And
I can't afford all those pay channels like you can.
Well, I can't afford them either. That's why my roommate's paying them.
Oh, okay. I need a roommate.
His son's a judge, and God damn it. The judge's son accidentally kills the biggest drug lord in New Orleans' son. And that's the premise of the whole show. And, of course, the judge was taking his kid down there to turn him in until he found out that it was the big drug lord's son. So he changed his mind. It's going to be great. First episode was great, man. It's going to be awesome. I think you definitely like it.
I'll check it out.
I guess that's Showtime, isn't it?
That's what Shameless comes on, is Showtime.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I watch it on Netflix though, but so I have to wait a year. You know what I mean?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be some fire stick or something out there.
Probably.
That's what I'm getting ready to go to.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably.
getting ready to drop this cable shit. Ridiculous.
We got another Florida fan in the comment section who thinks football was invented in 1990.
It was in Florida, wasn't it?
They think it was, yeah.
And it might as well have been.
Yeah.
They had some good years in the 80s. I think today's show was definitely better than Friday's.
You know, BBD, since the playoffs were created, UGA owns Florida. Football started in 2014. I don't know if you knew that. We own Florida.
Football hasn't started yet. I'll let you know when it does, if I live long enough. How about those ugly-ass blue helmets?
Yeah, I was wondering what Florida fans thought about that.
Rattlehead liked them. Man, he streamed the game with me, and he liked them. I wish I'd have thought to ask Boo, the old-time Florida fans. I'd be curious. This dude, getting back to Gator Boo, everything in his house, at least before this accident happened, every single thing in his house was Florida.
Yeah.
Dude even had Florida Band-Aids.
Hey, since football was created, UGA owns Florida. Did you know that, BBD?
Say that again.
Since football was created.
Football was created.
Yeah, UGA owns Florida.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know why people like to make up these. Well, from this year to this year.
You know, since 2019, Tennessee's owned Missouri and South Carolina.
That's true. That's true.
Missouri, they've made a nice little turnaround this year.
They're not a bad team. Yeah, they've gotten better this year. I hope we play that game.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to get played. I'm looking forward to that game. You know, it sucks for Georgia because this is the first year in the last 4 years that we haven't, won the East and had a chance at the playoffs this late in the year. So that does suck. But the fact that we went through the whole quarterback thing and JT Daniels has only started 2 games and has looked good in both games and all that, that at least it makes it where I'm still interested in watching. You know, I can't wait to watch. I was extremely disappointed that the Georgia Vandy game got canceled, and that's normally who cares? You can beat them by 40, whatever. But because of the quarterback thing, like I'm excited to watch these next couple of Georgia games and a bowl game if it happens and all that because of the whole JT Daniels thing. And I think the Missouri game could be a good game. They have gotten better. I think we'll win, obviously, but I think it'll be a good game. I don't know what's going to happen with the bowls. I guess some people still think we're getting a New Year's Six bowl. I mean, I hope we do. I'd love to, but I don't know if they're going to put 4 SEC teams between playoffs and New Year's Six. I don't know. Unless 2 SEC teams make the playoffs. If 2 SEC teams make the playoffs, I could see it, but I just don't know. Have to wait and see. Matt Judy, thank you for the super chat. He says, Google the report on Urban Meyer talking with Texas. I got multiple notifications for it this morning. I'll be curious to see what happens with that. Funky Fudge, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm waiting for Trask to get his SEC Special Teams Player of the Week for that kick. Rumor is Michigan is extending for 2 years with a lower buyout. Trask did have a good punt in that game. Pinned him down inside the 5-yard line. Yeah. He's done that a couple of times this year. Trask has. I don't know about inside the 5, but I mean he's punted a couple of times this year on 4th down where they pretend they're going to go for it like that. Not the first time they've done that. Steve Conyers, thank you for supporting the show this morning, sir, and hitting that super chat. We appreciate that. Good to have you in here. Okay, so the rumor is Michigan is extending Harbaugh's contract for 2 years, but lowering his buyout. To me, what that means is they're basically telling him, okay, if you don't win next year, we're firing you. That's what that means. That tells me he's not getting fired this year. But, okay, we'll extend you for 2 years. That way, if you have a good year, here you go. But we're going to lower the buyout because if you suck it up again, you're gone. That's what that tells me, that he's on a 1-year leash right now. That next year is make or break. That's what that tells me if that's true. He said, Funky Fudge says it's a rumor, so we'll see if we hear anything else on it. But if that's true, that tells me that they're basically telling him, I would say win the division at a minimum, or you're gone, is what that says to me. Anyway, time to wrap things up for today. 9:57. Appreciate all of you tuning in this morning. Big shout out to those of you who were able to support the show through the super chat or the PayPal. We really appreciate that. That's what keeps this show going. So thank you very much. Vandy Dandy, Tiny Tonto, Bluegrass Sports Media, Slim Shady Canes, Matt Judy, Jordan Bowman, Volusia Orange, Funky Fudge, Steve Conyers. I don't think I left anybody out. And over on the PayPal, we had Richard D. Huh? Did I leave somebody out?
Matt Judy would have to be our special teams player of the day today.
Yeah, Matt Judy is special teams viewer of the day. Thank you, Matt Judy. That was very generous of you. That really was. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, BVD, we hope you get to feeling better, buddy. I hope they can figure out whatever it is that's going on.
If I could just, if I would just, like I feel this morning, give me that for a couple of weeks and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Well, and not knowing what's wrong is
it's frustrating as shit.
Right. Right. I mean, it's like if you get cancer, okay, fine. I know what it is. Now what do we got to do? You know what I mean? Not that you have cancer. I'm just saying when you don't know, it's like, you don't even know what to do. It's frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. At one point I was almost hoping, it's going to sound stupid, but I was almost hoping it was COVID. So I'd know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
Get it over with. But it just keeps on. I don't know, man.
Oh, shout out to America's Mayor, too, by the way. Thoughts and prayers for America's Mayor. Currently laid up in the hospital with the Rona, so hope he gets better soon.
Is that Rudy?
Rudy Giuliani, yeah.
Right.
So hope he gets better so he can get back out there.
That's right.
And fight the good fight and provide entertainment like he's been doing the last few weeks. Hope he gets better soon. I'll have a top 10 video today and a BEAMER ball video today over on the main channel. And then I'll be back here tomorrow morning. I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. For the morning show again. BVD, what you got coming up?
Got tonight's Monday Night Live, and I'm got, unfortunately, my Florida Crow video. And Florida Crow video coming out today, and sometime this week we're going to whoop Texas A&M's ass video because we know it's going to happen. This is it. This is the week we turn it around, Lou. You could,
you're one of the, what are they? You could play spoiler,
That's right.
Texas A&M in the 4 spot is picking up steam. Tennessee could put a halt to all that with a. Now that's not this weekend.
We're gonna put a halt to all that.
Is that this weekend?
I think it is.
I think y'all play Vandy this week. Texas A&M next week.
I thought. Now that's what I thought. I thought we had Vandy this week and Texas A&M next, but Carter was saying no, we got Texas A&M this week. I don't know. We're scheduled to play somebody this week, and whoever it is getting an ass whooping.
I understand. I just want to make sure you make the right video. You know.
I'll make.
You play Vandy this week.
Before I make the video.
You play Vandy this week, but that game's probably not going to get played. You know what I mean?
Well, Vandy Dandy. Yeah.
You play them.
Here's up, Vandy Dandy.
4:00 SEC Network at Vandy.
All right.
And then next week, play A&M at home.
Fans. That's the one that may not get played. Hell, I don't know. No, they'll play that.
No, that's getting played. Texas A&M needs to play. Vandy's going to cancel on you. They ain't going to play. Anyway,
Vandy.
Appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out with us this morning. We'll do it again tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'll have those 2 videos out today on the main channel. Tune in to BBD TV tonight at 8 p.m. for his show. And we hope y'all have a great day and an even better morning, too.